right, here we go. We're going to start with our sounds first lesson, so everybody stand up. Now, remember we started a new activity yesterday with our sounds first lesson. It's where I say 3 words. I say what?
3 words.
Okay, 2 of my words rhyme. You're going to find the word that does not rhyme. What are you going to do?
Find the word that doesn't rhyme.
Good deal. I say 3 words, you say 1 word, okay? Your 1 word is the word that does not rhyme. Ready? Listen to these words. Which word does not belong? Slice, price, puddle.
Puddle.
Puddle, good job. Yes, puddle doesn't belong because it does not rhyme with slice or price. Listen to my 3 words. Drag, drip, brag.
Drip.
Drip, good job. Yes, drip does not rhyme. Shy, fly, pole.
Pole.
Pole, good job. Now, chow, nip.
Nip.
Good job. I love that I can hear Haven. I want to be able to hear everybody. We're not yelling, but I need to hear everybody. Eat, slow, show.
Slow.
Oh, listen to my sounds again. Listen. Eat, slow, show.
Eat.
Eat. Good job. That one was a tricky one. Okay, so now you're going to repeat. Thank you. This place is beautiful.
This place is beautiful.
It looks like paradise.
It looks like paradise.
I want you guys to say paradise, but without the dice.
Pear.
Pear, good job. All right, we can't go skiing today.
We can't go skiing today.
They're calling for an avalanche.
They're calling for an avalanche.
What is avalanche without the alanche?
Av.
Av, good job. Let's do one more. Please walk down
Please walk down
the corridor.
the corridor.
What is corridor without the door?
Corridor.
Nurse Sherry, you have a phone call on line 2. Nurse Sherry, line 2.
Good job. All right. So now we are going to repeat again. Joint.
Joint.
Now say joint, but without the t.
Joint.
Join. Good job. Yes, joint without the t is join. Crisp.
Crisp.
Now say crisp without the p.
Crisp.
Crisp. Good job. Once.
Once.
Now say once without the s.
One.
One. Okay, couple more. Paint.
Paint.
Say paint without the t.
Paint.
Pain. One more. Think.
Think.
Say think without the k.
Thing.
Thing. That one was hard. Good job. Okay, so for the last part of our sounds first lesson, we're going to do our silly story. So as we do our silly story, we're going to sway back and forth, and you're going to repeat after me.
Repeat after you.
Zack the zebra
Zap the zebra.
got zapped.
Got zapped.
Zelda zipped.
Zelda zip.
Open the xylophone bag.
Open the xylophone bag.
Zamara
Zamara.
play the xylophone.
Play the xylophone.
Zanily.
Zanily.
What sound do we hear the most? Oh, I said what sound, not what letter. What sound do we hear? Zzz. Remember, that's our vibrating sound. Put your hand underneath your chin, and I want you to fill your mouth and go zzz. You guys feel that vibrating sound? All right, let's go ahead and have a seat. Okay, we're going to go over what our lesson is going to be today. We're going to start out with our verb lesson. We're going to talk about our tenses of verbs. We have been practicing this a lot, so I want to see what you guys remember. Then we're going to learn our new spelling words, and we're going to do our song that we've been working on to help us remember the sound that is in our spelling words. And then we're going to do our reading time. And at the end, you guys are going to take home some new spelling words that you guys are going to practice over the week. Okay? All right. So let's take a look. Here we go. All right, so we're going to start with a warm-up. I want you guys to listen to my directions. Today, I zip a zipper. What's my verb?
Zip.
Zip. Okay, I want you guys to pretend to zip up a zipper. Okay? So do you still agree that zip is my verb?
Yes.
Is that an action?
Yes.
Yes. Remember that a verb is an action. Now, if I said, today I will zip a zipper, what tense is that? Past, present, or future?
Present.
Present. It's happening today, so it is present. Zip is an action, and a word that shows an action is part of a speech called a verb. Say verb.
Verb.
Okay, we've been working on that. Now I want you to listen to this one. Tomorrow I will zip a zipper. What action will you perform tomorrow? I will zip a zipper tomorrow. What tense is will zip? Past, present, or future?
Past. Future.
Why is it future, Eli?
Because it says will zip.
It says will zip. Is it going to happen, is it going to happen yesterday? Is it happening today, or will it happen tomorrow? It's going to happen tomorrow. So tomorrow is in the future. So will zip means to do it in the future. It's going to happen in the future. I'm going to say two sentences. The first sentence will have a present tense verb, and the second will have a future tense verb. So I want you to listen, and I want you to find my tense. So I have my present tense, and then I have my future tense. Okay? Today I lift my arm. What's my... It is present, but what's my verb?
Lift.
Lift. Good job. Tomorrow I will lift my arm. Will. I will lift my arm. You got to tell me the whole verb tense, okay? Let's do another one. Today I jump like a grasshopper. Oh, what did I say? Tell me the verb. So if you're telling me the verb, are you telling me the whole sentence? No, so what's my verb?
Jump.
Jump. Good job. Now is today I jump like a grasshopper. Is that present or future? Present. It's happening right now. It's happening today. Tomorrow I will jump like a grasshopper. I will jump like a grasshopper. Is that my verb? Today I will jump like a grasshopper is my verb? No. What's my verb in that sentence? Will jump. Remember? When we're talking about future tense, our verb always has will with it. Let's try another one because we're struggling with that one, okay? Try one more. Listen. Tell me the verb, not the sentence, the verb. Today I drive a car. Drive. That's my verb. Is that happening right now or in the future?
Right now.
It's happening right now, so that's happening in the present. Good job. Tomorrow I will drive a car. I will drive a car is my whole verb. Will drive. Is that happening today, tomorrow, or in the present? It's happening tomorrow. So what is that?
Future.
It's happening in the future. Good deal. All right. So we're going to work on that a little bit more over the next couple of days. But let's move on to our spelling. Okay, so we're going to move on to the spelling part of our lesson. And like I said, we are going to practice our spelling that we have been working on. Who can tell me what spelling we've been working on? ED. Who can tell me the 3 sounds that ED sometimes can make? D, ed. Good job. All right, so let's all stand up and let's practice our ed song. You ready? Okay, I want everybody to do it with me. Ready? D, ed. D, ed. We make words past tense.
We make words past tense.
With t. Spelled ed.
Spelled ed.
Good deal. T, d, ed. T, d, ed. We make words past tense.
We make words past tense.
With d. With d. Other way. So you guys will do the same one I did. Good job. All right. T, d, ed. T, d, ed. We make words past tense.
We make words past tense.
With ed.
With ed.
Spelled ed.
Spelled ed.
T, d, ed.
Ed.
T, d, ed. We make words past tense.
We make words past tense.
Good deal. And I'm going to put our spelling we're working on up here on our board. Whoops. I'm not going to put it up there. Made it all crazy, didn't it?
Yeah.
All right, let me go back to our slide. There we go. All right. So while I'm getting our slide back up, who can tell me again what our new spelling is? So all of those spellings are going to be in our spelling words. So let's talk about our spelling words. You guys are going to go home with a new list of spelling words today. I'm going to put that up there so that way we know that our spelling words is going to have that in it. Any way we say it, when it has the t, d, or ed sound at the end of our spelling words, how are we going to spell it? Ed. So let's talk about them. Our spelling words. We're going to repeat after me.
Repeat after you.
Sounded.
Sounded.
How is ed said and sounded?
Ed.
Ed. Good job. But how is it spelled? Ed. Good job. Lifted.
Lifted.
How is lifted sounded in our word? Lifted.
Ed.
Ed. Good deal. It is ed. But how is it spelled? Ed. What about pointed? Oh, you repeat. Pointed.
Pointed.
How is pointed? What sound does it make? Ed. But how is it spelled? Ed. Good job. What about part?
Part.
That's not the sound it makes. It doesn't make T. What sound? T. Good job. And how is it spelled? Ed. Waved.
Waved.
What sound does it make? It doesn't make the D sound. What sound does it make? Listen. Say it. Waved.
Waved.
What sound? Pause. Let me finish the whole sentence that I'm saying. What sound comes at the end of waved? The D sound. But how is it spelled? Ed. Good job. Grinned.
Grand.
How is this? What's the sound? What's the sound at the end of grinned? D. Okay, how is it spelled? Ed. Good job. Last one. Tripped.
Tripped.
T. But how is it spelled? Ed. So anytime you are looking at these words, so like sounded, okay, we know it's s, ow, d, ed. We know how to spell all of those sounds. Excuse me. So whenever you're looking at this, think back to how we spell the ed at the end of each word. Think about how we spell those sounds when it comes to the end. And you guys are going to practice these over the week. And you guys are going to get this at home today. We need to make sure we're practicing those each and every day. Your tricky word at the end of this is have. Say have. Have is your tricky word. Now remember, tricky words are words that you have to remember. Okay, you can't, there's not a rhyme or a reason. You have to remember those tricky words, okay? So it's very important that you practice those every single night. So go ahead and have a seat. It's very, very important. All right, so let's begin our reading time. So today's story is all about snakes. Snakes belong to a group of animals called reptiles. Say reptiles.
Reptiles.
Okay. And we've been talking about all the different zoo animals that are at the Fern Zoo, the Green Fern Zoo. We've been talking about all the animals that's been there. So today we're going to talk about snakes and that they belong to a group called reptiles. And we're going to talk a little bit more about those vocabulary when we get there. Now, some spellings that you guys are going to see in this book is oi. Say it.
Oi.
Oi. And how is oi? How is it spelled?
O-I.
OI. So when you get to OI and they're together and they're working as a team, what sound are you going to make?
Oi.
Oi. Good job. So if this sound is oi, what's my word?
Coiling.
Coiling. Say coiling.
Coiling.
And you're going to learn what coiling is when we get to our vocabulary. What sound is this? Good job. And how is made? How's spelled? E-R. Good job. So let's say these words. Garter. Killer. And we talked about that word yesterday. Like I know that that's not a word that we use, but the book is going to describe an animal that way, and I want you to focus on that, okay? It's not the animal. We don't need to worry about that word. It's just describing that animal. Rattler. Ever. Dweller. Pattern. And some of those words are going to be, we're going to learn what their meaning is when we get to that section in the book and we get to the vocabulary. Then you're going to have some tricky words that you're going to see in our story. Repeat. Who. Some. Do. Because. Would. Could. Good job. And then some 2-syllable words you guys are going to see, and you can use that 2-syllable strategy we've been working on to help you sound it out. Reptile. Harmless. Rabbits. And hidden. Those are some words that you guys are going to see. Now we know how to spell those words and we know how to sound them out because they're all sounds that we have talked about. So now let's get into some vocabulary. I say it or you repeat after me. Reptile. So that was in our words that we might not know. That's those 2-syllable words. And a reptile is just a type of animal that involves snakes and lizards. Reptiles also have scales. So that's something to remember as you're looking through the book. See if all of those animals have scales that they're talking about to see if they're all reptiles. Garter snake. It's a snake that's just harmless to humans. A lot of times you might see it in your garden or different other places, but they are not harmless, or they are harmless. Harmless, which is up here in this vocabulary, just means no harm. It's not going to hurt you. So if I say, oh, that's harmless, I'm saying it's not going to hurt you. And that's what the book is going to talk about. Rattler. It's a snake with a rattle at the end of its tail whose bite is poisonous. So when it does talk about a rattler, that bite is poisonous and it can cause harm to humans or any other animal. Scales. Scales are the rough outer covering on the skin of snakes and fish. Scales protect the body of the animal. Now remember, there are 2 different words or 2 different meanings behind scales. You have scales that are on the outside of animals, and you also have a scale that you step on when the doctor wants to weigh you. We're not talking about the weight scale. We're not talking about the scale you step on at the doctor. We're talking about the scales that are on the outside of snakes and fish. So remember that when you're reading it. Desert dweller. A desert dweller is an animal that lives in the desert. And a desert is an area that is hot and dry, and it often has sand. Okay. And the last one is coiling up. Coiling up is wrapped around in a circle. And I want you guys, as we're reading, I want you to find an animal that is coiling up. And I'm going to remind you when we get to our story, okay? All right, so let's get into our story. All right, so our purpose for our story today is to learn more about the types of reptiles at the Green Fern Zoo. You guys are going to read the story out loud. I'm going to call on some friends, and you guys are going to find, you guys are going to learn more about the reptiles at the Green Fern Zoo. So what I want you guys to do is get out your readers that is inside your desk. And you guys are going to turn to the table of contents. When you get to it, I want you to put your thumb on your chest to tell me you've got it to the table of contents. You're ready to rock and roll. I want to see it. Now, I said the table of contents, so that means it's where you can see all the stories that is in the book to tell you where they're at. When I say all thumbs on chest, we will talk about the next part. Yes, Haven?
you go on a page, it's like your page. Well, it's like
My pages don't match up to yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's because it's on the computer. It's not in your books. Eli's got it on there. Arya's got it on there. Now, our story for today is the reptile room. Say it. I want you guys to find the page number that the reptile room is on. When you have it, raise your hand. Skylar, what page is it on?
30.
Oh, look at it. Reptile room. It's not on page 30. Eli.
42.
42. So it's down here. It's the second story from the bottom. I want you guys to open up in your readers to page 42. And I'm going to find it up here on the board as well. All right. So it looks like this. It looks very similar to what's on my board. I'm looking. Yes, Abby.
This tooth is bleeding back here.
I think you're going to be okay. All right, get you a tissue. I see. Go get you a tissue, sister. All right. Reptile room. Beckett, you're not on the reptile room, baby? It looks like Miss Chelsea's.
Where's any more tissue?
You'll be all right for right now, okay, baby? Sit down. Get out and get the reptile room. Carter, you need to be on the same page Miss Chelsea is. Next page. The reptile room starts where the groundhog looks. So if you look, you have a groundhog on one side and the reptile room on the other. Next page. Other page. Go the other way. There you go. Skylar, go the other way, sister. You're not on the other way. Page 42. Look right there. Is that 42? Yeah, look at the bottom at the page numbers. There we go. All right, so everybody's on the reptile room, and you're on page 42. We're going to take turns reading each page, and I'm going to call on some friends to read each page for me, okay? Now, as we're reading, let's go over some rules. As we read, you follow along with your finger, so that way you know where you are. I'm going to ask some questions in between, so make sure you know the answers to the questions. Let's get our heads up. Let's get ready to learn. Eli, you're going to start us off.
Who likes snakes?
Oh, pause for just a second. Guys, make sure you are following along. I see lots of friends who are looking at me and not their books. All right, Eli, go ahead and start us over.
Who likes snakes? Hands up if you like them. Some kids like snakes best of all, and some kids can't stand them. If you do not like snakes, you can skip this next room because it is the reptile room.
Good deal. All right, now we are turning the page. And it starts with, this is a garter snake. Cabin, you're going to read this. Start it off.
This is a rat.
No. Right here, babe. Page 44. You're on page 44. That page.
This is a.
Sound it out. Use our chunking strategy. Garter
Snake. Garter snakes feed on slugs and
Tell me that whole word again. Insects.
And frog for those critters. They rain.
Sound it out.
Garter snake is a killer, but for us, it is harmless. A garter snake could bite you, but
It's
its bite would not make you sick.
Okay, so that is a garter snake. Garter snakes feed on slugs, insects, and frogs. For a garter snake, if you are a slug, insect, or frog, it is a killer, but for us humans, it is not. All right, so now we are on page 46. Turn to page 46. Everybody ready? All right, Haven, go ahead and read us about the rattler.
This is a rattler. He is a desert dweller that hunts for rats and rabbits. He has a pattern on his scales that helps him blend in and hide in the desert scents. When the rattler is hidden, it's hard,
sister.
hard for rats and rabbits to see him.
All right, so on page 46, I want you guys to look up here at my picture. The rattler has a pattern to help it hide in the sand. What other animal have we talked about in this reader that hides because of the color?
Fish.
It's a type of fish. What is it? A trout. Good job. So the trout uses its color just like the rattler to help it hide from predators or to hide to find food. All right, so now let's turn to page 48. Turn to page 48. Evan, go ahead and read us.
A rattler is not harmless like a garter snake. If you ever see this snake hissing and coiling up, you better stand back and let it be. Let it be. The rattler has sharp fangs and a bite from the rattler could kill you, but we are safe here in the reptile room. There is a sheet of glass keeping us safe from these snakes.
Good deal. All right, so on that page, what did Vern tell you to do? What should you do if you see a rattler? Stand back, stay away. Good job. All right, so let's talk about some questions. Let's go back and let's talk about some questions that I have for our story. All right, some questions. What animals are in the reptile room? And I'm going to call on a friend, Addison. What reptiles are in the reptile room? What type of animals are in there in the reptile room? So tell me in a complete sentence.
The animals that are in the reptile room are snakes.
Good job. The animals that are in the reptile room are snakes. I have one more. Aria. Vern says that if a rattler is hissing and coiling up, you need to stand back and be careful. What do you think the rattler might do after hissing and coiling up?
Might bite.
Oh, pause. Aria.
Might bite you.
It might bite you. I want you to turn and tell a friend what you would do if you were bit by a snake. What do you think you would do? Turn and tell your group at your table what you would do. What would you do?
If I got bit by a snake,
You can turn and talk to Carter.
actually make it like get knocked down. Kind of like going to sleep. Instantly.
But what would you do? Would you call for help? Or you go to the hospital?
I would. So I got bit by a poisonous snake and it was a rattler. So my mom said I go bed for 20 days.
But what do you think you would do if you were actually bitten by a rattlesnake? Would you call for help? Would you call your mom?
That's what I was talking about.
Okay. And so what did you do?
My mom told me I would go bed for 20 days.
So you told your parents about being bit? Okay. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're back on Miss Chelsea. We have our heads up. Okay, so here's our last part of our lesson. We've read our story. We have asked some questions about it. We've answered some questions about it. Now I want to see what you guys know. So I'm going to put you guys with a group, and you guys are going to find somewhere on this side of the room a spot to answer some questions about the book. Now with this, I want you guys to take a look at the worksheet, okay? So if I'm looking at it, we're going to find the worksheet. Okay. Here we go. So you guys are going to answer it in complete sentences, okay? Make sure it starts with a what? Capital letter. Make sure it ends with a period. A period. Now you're going to be able to work with your team, and you're going to be able to answer the questions together, okay? So that should give me an idea of who is listening and who may need some extra help, okay? I'm going to be calling some groups to my back table for us to conference and see where our brains are at, okay? So what I want you guys to do is I'm going to get your papers. You're going to need a pencil. You're going to need a book. And then I'm going to tell you guys where you're going to go inside the classroom, okay? Haven, I want you to go up to the front. Eli, I want you to go to the big carpet. Evan, I want you to go to the small carpet. And Aria, I want you to go back behind my desk. All right. Abby, go with Eli. Kevin, go with Haven. Emmeline, go with Evan. Annabelle, you're going to go with Aria. Landon, go with Haven. Carter, go with Eli. Addison, go with Evan. Beckett, nope, go to your group. Sorry, sweet girl. Beckett, you're going to go to Aria's group. Skylar, I want you to go with Haven's group, okay? Take this up to your group, please. So I want to see you guys working, and I want to see you guys answering those questions in complete sentences. I'm going to be walking around to check on you guys, so make sure you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, okay, guys? Who's all in your group?
Don't look at me.
Addison, come on, sis. Okay.
I don't need a whiteboard.
A white board. 3. Okay. All right. Hey, no, we need to get on our story. Which one's our story?
The reptile.
Okay, so turn on it. All right, let's look at question number 1. Is everybody on question number 1?
Yes.
Abby, read us question number 1.
The garter snake is a killer.
No, question number 1. Read us question number 1. We've already read our story, so read question number 1. Hey, she's reading it. You gotta sit on your bottom and listen. All right, Abby, what does it say? Okay, put it on my back table, please. Okay, it says, what do garter snakes feed on? So, find the page number that it says garter snakes feed on. Page 44, okay? And what did it say that it fed on?
Slugs, insects, and frogs.
Okay, how are we going to write that in a complete sentence?
The garter snake feeds on slugs, insects, and frogs.
Okay, did it answer the question?
Yeah.
All right, you write it. So Carter, you're going to look at Eli and let's find it. So he said the garter snake, garter, so look, it's right here, garter. And then T, put your T beside it. E-R. Okay, and then snake. Space, put your space there.
Like a garter snake. If you ever see this snake kissing and pulling up, you better stand back
Put snake,
This
Abby.
rattler has sharp fangs, and a bite from a rattler could
So would you say it feeds?
here.
Is that what you said comes next? The garter snake feeds. So we're going to write feeds.
Okay. So right name.
So right there's feed. On, and then you're going to tell me what it feeds on. Now, Eli, I need you to help your team out, okay? It's very, very important. All right. So what did we decide on number 1? What are we writing?
I'm writing slugs and rats.
Okay, so I said answer it in a complete sentence. So if you just wrote slugs and rats, do I know what that means? No.
I was gonna put more. That I was just saying what was already.
Okay, well, what are you? Tell me what you're gonna write.
I was going to write rats. I gotta go get termites.
No, you're gonna sit right here.
I need to.
So slugs, rats, termites, and then what else? Is that all?
That's all they eat.
Okay, so how are you gonna write that in a sentence? Tell me.
I will put slugs, rats, and termites is what they eat.
Okay, so make sure you're helping your team out. Slugs, rats, and termites is what they feed on. Did you find that in the story?
Yes, I found that in the story when we were reading. I don't read.
Okay, so Addison, find it in your story, sister. Where did it talk about garter snakes and what they eat? Alright, look and find it in your passage. Okay, you know where they are. Evan, make sure you're helping your team out. All right, what did we get for number 1? And what else?
Insects.
Okay, make sure you're writing it in a complete sentence. Annabelle, what does a sentence start with? Okay, do you have a capital there?
Becky, look in your book. It does say snakes. And then slugs.
Hey, make sure you're staying on task and you're only talking about the book, okay? Hey, I need to see you writing, sister. I don't see it. All right, let's talk about it. What's going on here? What number are we on?
We're on number 2. Yeah.
Okay, so Landon, what does your sentence? Tell me what your sentence says.
The snakes eat
So the snakes eat what?
nails and fish. Fish and frogs.
So the snakes eat slugs, frogs, and what was the other one? Insects? Oh, do they eat fish? Go back and look in that book. I don't remember them saying it eats fish.
Yeah, I've been telling them that it's slugs, insects, and frogs, but they kept on saying it's fish.
Okay, so why don't you show them where you found that at in the book so maybe we can come to agreement.
It said slugs, insects, and frogs.
Okay, well why don't you find it in the book? If you agree with Haven, find it in the book.
I agree with her because that's when I read it. It said that, and I was like, I agree with that.
So did we talk about the garter snake before we talked about the rattler?
Garter snake is when he
It's one of the very first ones, so look back.
This garter snake feed on slugs, insects, and frogs.
Well, your group is still in number 1 cabin, so you don't go on until your group's ready. That's part of being in a group.
So this garter snake.
No. We're not copying off each other, buddy.
Slugs, insects, and frogs.
So slugs, insects, and frogs. So we need to write that. A garter snake feeds on slugs, insects, and frogs.
Hey, Miss Chelsea, when Landon didn't, because Landon was trying to write, and Kevin kept on, making noises and stuff, I tried to tell Kevin, because he was all the way over there, and I tried to tell him to come over here, and he wouldn't come over here. Landon was bothering.
Okay, well, number 1, you are a big first grader, and I know you know how to problem solve. So now we're waiting on Landon and Skylar, so we're going to wait on number 1. Kevin, why don't you go ahead and read number 2 so we can see if we can find it in the book.
What are garter snakes harmless for us?
So why are garter snakes harmless for us? Why?
Because it's by when it makes us sick.
Okay, so where did you find it in the book?
On page 44.
Okay, read the sentence to us.
I'm going to start at the very beginning. This is a garter snake. Garter snakes feed on slugs, insects, and frogs for the critters. The garter snake is a killer, but for us, it's harmless. A garter snake could bite you, but its bite would not make you sick.
Okay, so let's write that. I'll be back to check on you guys in a second, okay? All right, which one are we on? Okay, so where does it talk? Okay, so where in the book does it talk about rattlesnakes being harmless? Oh, sorry, garter snakes, not rattlesnakes. Okay, 44. So let's look at it. It says this is a garter snake. Garter snakes feed on slugs, insects, and frogs. For those critters, the garter snake is a killer, but for us, it's harmless. A garter snake could bite you, but its bite would not make you sick. So think back to harmless. What does harmless mean? It won't hurt you. So how is a garter snake's bite not going to hurt you? It's not going to make you what? It's harmless, but it's not going to make you what? Sick. So if it's not going to make you sick, is it going to hurt you? No. So there you go.
Garter snakes bite you because they won't make you sick.
If a garter snake bites you, it won't make you sick. That's what makes it harmless. You got it? Abby, get to writing. Quit messing with your tooth, baby. That's what's making it bleed. You keep messing with it, okay? Well, let's give it a few minutes. I want you to write on number 2. Capital letter.
I can't remember how to write a G. It's hard. It's like a C.
It's like a C with a line.
With a chainsaw. And a bow and arrow.
Okay, you need to. Hey, y'all need to focus on your worksheet. I don't think any of those things have anything to do with the reptile room. All right, I'll come back and check on you guys in just a second.
Hurry up. My pocket.
All right, Evan, read me number 2.
Why are garter snakes harmless? The bite is not poisonous.
Okay, where'd you find that at in the book?
I just found it out in the book because at the first or second page of it.
We're not copying, no ma'am. You know how to write a sentence. That's not Evan's job. His job is not to copy. Your job is to write the sounds that you hear.
So what I did,
I want to see what Addison knows, not what Evan knows.
what I did on the first or second page, it says they are not, their bite is not harmless.
Okay.
It's harmless. They're harmless.
Its bite is not harmless. So what does harmless mean?
It means like it doesn't do it. Harmless means it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt. Good deal. Hey, Emmeline, you can go ahead and be looking at number 2. Yes, ma'am.
I'm trying to explain to something and you wouldn't let me tell him.
Okay, are you guys working on that worksheet?
I'm trying to get them to, but wait,
Are you all finished? Okay, well, you're going to help your team out, okay? Help them stay on task. All right, I want you guys to freeze for just a second. Put your hands up and freeze. If your hands are up and you're frozen, that means your voice is frozen too. Thank you. Here's what I want you guys to do. You are going to put your worksheets on my back table. Oh, if you're frozen, that means your voices are frozen too. Put your worksheets on my back table. Put your readers up. And we're going to get ready for math. Go ahead and line up once you have all those things put away.